Welcome everyone to another We On review, which stands for Worth It or Not, and today I'm going to be answering the simple question: is Dust An Elysian Tail worth it or not? First We On of 2014, and it's a game that came out last year. Insert joke here. Dust An Elysian Tail is a PC and Xbox 360 game. I got it on PC, and it came out on PC last year. I'm not too sure when it came out on Xbox, but excuse me, it is a game that I found out about via Total Biscuit's WTF S series when he did a review of it. Well, not a review, it's his first impressions of it. And that's when I found out about this game, and I looked into it, and it's basically one guy's passion project. And I'm not kidding you when I'm saying it's one guy's passion project. He apparently worked on the game for quite some time, released it on Xbox, and then it came to PC, which, by the way, one of the best PC ports I've ever fucking played in my life, and it's an indie title. I'm actually going to have to get the information up here. I should have got this all in advance, but I'm an absolute tit who forgot about it. Where's all the information on it? Should have gotten this information prior to hand. It's from the developer Humble Heart LLC. It classifies an action adventure indie RPG. Just had to get the information there, and it's from those people, and it's one guy's passion project along with other people, of course. And yeah, from what I can tell, I'll get to what I think about the passion project, a part of it, and how I feel, is it really a passion project? But the game is it's more of an action RPG in my opinion, where you play the character of Dust, and it's more of like a hack and slash RPG as you go out through the game, beating various enemies, various boss battles, and fighting to find out who you are and also what's going on in this world of Elysium. The world isn't called Elysium, but yeah, I end up always referring to it, but I'll go into each aspect: story, gameplay, graphics, story, gameplay, graphics, and music. I have to compliment the music, but we'll go into each one. But that's basically what I wanted to get about the introduction through of Dust An Elysian Tail, which I've just wasted like 2 minutes of your fucking time doing this. I can never do these properly. But let's dive right into it and start with the story of Dust An Elysian Tales. You play as the character Dust, who is a being with two souls. Now, I can't go into too much about the story, unfortunately, because it is only a 12-hour long game. It's not an in-depth RPG that's like 150 hours. It's about 12 hours. In fact, I can tell you how long I played it for right now, actually, on my Steam page. I played it for, where is it? About 10 hours. It says 10 hours, but I'm pretty sure it was about 12 when I beat it. And you basically, in this world, by the way, I'm going to say this right now, it's very Japanese anime inspired. You play, the characters in the game are kawaii, cute, adorable, and they are animal-human hybrids. I can never get, like, what the fuck do you call that again? I think it's humanoids? Like animal humanoids. Animals with human features, like cats, dogs, rabbits. Mostly cats and dogs, though. Mostly cats and dogs. And various other wee types and all that it is. And you're basically trying to find out who you are, but also why this world is in such disarray. What is happening in the world currently, as you are born into it basically, is that sorry, I thought something broke there. Is that there is a war going on from a General Gaius? I'm horrible with names, but I just called him the General, who is on this basically this genocidal war, and I do mean genocide, to eliminate a race of beings known as the Moonbloods, which are, in a way, just other people on the planet, in this world, and he's trying to exterminate them all because he thinks they're evil. But that's basically, your goal is to stop him, basically. And that's about all I can go into without going into major spoilers about the story, which I might go towards the end, but I really don't want to spend too much time on that. But I've got to say that the story is rather interesting. It's not a brand spanking new story. It's a story that we've heard hundreds of times, but as I say, is the only problem. The only problem with this type of story is we've seen it in almost every type of platform: comics, games, TV series. I'm pretty sure there's like 8 versions of it in Star Trek. you could quote the Borg for that. Even Star Wars, to an extent, with the Sith. And this story isn't something new, but it's a story. It's taking a story that I personally think is done to death. Like, I think a lot of story types are done to death, but it takes that kind of story and actually makes it kind of interesting. It's nothing new. It's nothing extravagant. It's not mind-blowingly new, but it is interesting and it is enjoyable. And I kind of felt a little bit. It kind of got me here. It was a very interesting story, especially with some of the twists that happen in the story. There are 1 or 2 twists in the story, and they're kind of predictable. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see one coming, but then after I'm going to replay this game, because I think this is one of the few games I might actually try and do a speed run on it. But it was interesting for that aspect, the fact that I didn't see one of the twists coming, but at the same time I was like, that actually makes sense. And there are 1 or 2 wee iffy bits in the story, but overall the story is very well done, and very well done. Very well done 3 times. That's how you do it properly. That's how that in-depth review here. This isn't a review about it. This is worth it or not. But I will say that. Also another aspect of the story is that you, along with Dust, there are 2 other characters. There's the sword Ara. I think it's Ahraa, or I'm horrible with fucking names. And a flying winged cat called Fidget. And if anyone says no, she is not as annoying as Navi. In fact, I find her fucking adorable and kind of, I want to cuddle her. She's kind of cute, I'm not going to lie. And those are the 3 main characters, and Fidget, and they all like bond and get to know each other and all that kind of crap, and the usual stuff. But the 3 characters, Dust, Fidget, and the sword, who I'm not even going to fucking attempt to pronounce it, but I'm not going to. Those are the 3 main characters. Dust is the main character, but the other 2 are like wee aspects, and then they are trying to guide Dust along the right path instead of doing evil, doing good, which I'm going to say this right now, the story has one major drawback to it, and this is my biggest complaint about the game really in all it is. There was a bunch of missed opportunities in my opinion. I can't really say what it is without going into spoilers, so I'm going to save that for the end of this video, as I just don't want to spoil anyone who's interested in picking this game, but I will talk that I do have one major problem with the game, and it did have a bit of missed opportunity in my opinion, but I'll move on to the next part, which is gameplay. What did I think of the gameplay? It's your standard hack and slash. Simple as. It's side-scrolling, and you're taking a sword and you're hack and slashing. There's only really 2 buttons you need to worry about. I will say this right now, I played it on PC, but I played it with a controller, because, give me a break. It's a bit easier to play it with a controller because it was originally designed to be played on a controller as it was originally on the Xbox. the mouse and keyboard I'm sure work fine, but it's a lot easier on the controller because it's designed to be on a controller. Your only 2 main attack. You only have 3 attack buttons, which is X, Y, and B. X is your standard. In fact, I can do better at those. I just put my hands on it. That is your. X is your standard. Attack, while Y is your special ability, which is your Dust ability. I think they referred to it, which is basically spinning the sword around like this. Don't try this at home, kiddies. I'm a professional idiot. That's why I can't exactly do it, but Dust basically spins the sword around like that, or up in the air and does a spiral kind of thing, and it creates like a whirlwind attack. And it basically draws enemies in, and it's also used for puzzle solving. There's a couple of puzzles in the game where you have to get an explosive fruit, insert joke here, and take it to one part of the wall and then destroy it there. And yeah, that's basically what it's used for, and it's used to build up good combos and all that. I will say this right now, the game does have some subtle references and subtle jokes about other games, Castlevania, a couple of combo breaker. Killer Instinct joke. There's actually a mission called Combo Breaker, which is to get a 1000 hit combo, which doesn't take you that long by the way, because all you need to go is slash. Don't try this at home, kiddies. I'm a professional idiot. I should put this away before I cut myself. That's not the. There we are. But yeah, that's this X, Y, of course. X is the main one, Y is the special ability. There's also a projectile ability that Fidget uses, which you press B. On their own, that's very weak and it won't do a lot of damage, but you can combine it with the Y button using the Dust ability to create the little vortex and all that. It will actually make the projectile extremely powerful, and you can spam the fuck out of it and get 1,000-hit combos like that. I am not shitting you. It's very fun. And that's it. And it's very good hack and slash. There are also some RPG elements in which you can get like rings, cloaks, necklaces, and some minor upgrades to get damage. There's also like an upgrade system with characters. Not like you level up, you insert it into like a health, attack, defense, fidget. That's the only ones that are really there, and you just that basically the bonuses are notable. I kept it pretty balanced. They were all running about the same when I finished it up, but you can easily spam. There are enemies respawn when you leave an area and then come back. The enemies are there, so you can actually just keep going, and get leveled up like that. I didn't do that because I wanted to beat the game fairly, and I did beat the game fairly. Now, I also have to compliment on the boss battles. The boss battles, while a few, there's only really 4 boss battles, and they're all different in a way. You will fight a projectile-focused enemy, a more distance type enemy, a up-close enemy, and the final boss, which is the general. No spoilers, can I guess you're going to face him. The boss battles are challenging, but in all honesty, it's just fighting an enemy. It's fighting the same enemies with a fuck ton of health. So that's a bit disappointing. But that's basically the gameplay in a nutshell, and it is very standard, very good. It very much takes the principle, if it ain't fucking broke, don't bloody fix it. And it works out fine. I came across no issues with the combat, and the combat was very fun and very enjoyable. You can interact with characters in the world and talk to them about stuff, but it's more dressing than anything. Like you get to learn a lot more about the universe of Dust An Elysian Tail, but at the same time, you do get to. There are some points where you have to select some things to find out more information, and also like different dialogue options, which kind of leads way that I think the creators of Humble Hearts wanted to do a lot more with the dialogue thing, and maybe make the game a bit better with more emphasis on the actual aspect of choice, especially with the character of Dust, who is a being of 2 souls, one evil, one good. That's about as much as I can go without going into spoilers. And they are conflicting. I definitely see that that's actually, I'm saving that for the end because that's my biggest gripe. So that you can definitely tell from the gameplay, especially the conversation, that the creator wanted to do more, but I guess he just didn't have the time and budget. And this is like a couple-year passion project. Now we'll move on to the next aspect, which is what was next? Story, gameplay. I'm horrible at this. Music. Yeah, music. Soundtrack. Soundtrack's fucking awesome. I love the music in this game. I'm actually going to be... I can't buy it now, but I'm buying the soundtrack on Bandcamp. The soundtrack's available. It's done by... Oh, fuck, what is it? What's the music done by? Fuck. I need to find this out. I need to remember... I don't want to mess with anything. The music is done by... Oh, fuck. I'm blanking on the name. Fuck. What's the music done by? The music I want to give it Dust An Elysian soundtrack. Music is done by Hyperduck. That's who it is, Hyperduck. The soundtrack is available for £6.50 on hyperduck.bandcamp.com/albums/Dust-An-Elysian-Tail-original-soundtrack. And I'm buying that soundtrack the moment I can afford it, because it is a fucking brilliant soundtrack. It is very much inspired by Japanese anime. Same with the art style, as I said, it's very Japanese anime inspired. But the soundtrack as well is very much inspired by that, and the music is used effectively. And this is a problem that even big budget games have a big issue with, is getting the right music for the right mood. And I haven't seen a lot of games get that perfect. But Dust An Elysian Tail does actually do that exceptionally well, and matching the music with the scenes that it's done with. And the music is what made a lot of the scenes exceptionally well done, and really got me there, because a good music and good soundtrack makes everything perfect in my opinion. And without the music, I don't think the story would be as good, because the music just added to it a lot more, and I really enjoyed it for that. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I can say about that besides buy it? I'm going to say this right now. The soundtrack alone is worth the price they're asking for it. I'm going to be buying it as soon as I can. I think I might just buy it right now because it's only £6.50. But I think I'll go to answer the question now, because I've talked about everything that they're going to spoilers. Is Dust An Elysian Tail worth it? Well, it's only... Right now, it's $11.99 on Steam. I got it doing the sale, so I got it reasonably cheap. It's worth every penny. I beat it in about 10 hours. I'm going to replay it at some point because it's fantastic. I highly recommend it. In my opinion, Dust An Elysian Tail, it's worth it. If you haven't... I say this, if you're an indie game fan, you'll like it. If you're an anime fan, you'll like it. If you want a good story, you'll like it. It's a really good story, and really was. And I want to say this right now. You can tell that this was a passion project, because the people that worked, people who worked on it, the soundtrack, the voice actors. This is voice actors. I'm not kidding you. It's actually really good. Surprisingly good. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't expecting much from that. The developer, Humble Hearts, who is basically one guy. I give him major credit, because I can tell that this is a passion project. And when you can feel... When I was playing Dust An Elysian Tail, I could feel the passion in the game, and from the developer that made it. Even when I'm playing big budget games, a lot of them don't feel... I can feel passion there, but a lot of it doesn't feel like that. Like, when I'm playing a game like fucking WWE 2K14, I can't feel any passion when I'm playing that. But this, Dust An Elysian Tail, I could feel the passion in this game, and I absolutely adored it for that. I loved this game, and it was very well executed, and in my opinion, for £12, I highly recommend it, and definitely say that if you haven't picked it up yet, it's available on Xbox, and it's available on Steam. I would say preferably get it on Steam, but it's completely up to you. I highly recommend it, and it definitely is worth it in my opinion, and if you haven't picked it up, go and pick it up now. I think this is a game that everyone needs to play, because it really does show what is. Now, I will say this right now, if you're not into the Japanese anime style, you're not going to like it. If you're not into a very short experience, as it's only 10 hours long, if you're not interested in a good soundtrack, but I will say it's the biggest turn off I can see for a lot of people is the animal-human hybrids, the animal humanoids. I can definitely see that being a turn off for a lot of people. It was a bit of a turn off for me, but it works for the aesthetic of the game, and I do recommend that. Even with that, I enjoyed it and added a little bit to it. Now I'm going to talk about the one major problem I have with the game, which is still, even with this problem, it's not a problem. I see that this game, I can tell, now I don't know if this is true, but I can tell from what I played that the maker, Humble Hearts, wanted to do a lot more with this game than he could. I could tell that, because there's a lot of structure and infrastructure and added parts here or there that makes me think that he wanted... that the developer, I don't know, I think it's just one guy, but I'll just call Humble Hearts, that they wanted to do more. They wanted to maybe put a lot more emphasis into the RPG elements, which I think they do in a way towards the end with some dialogue option. The last dialogue option you have with an NPC with a character called Ginger. I can't say too much about her character without going into major spoilers, but when you're interacting with her, you have two dialogue options, almost two completely different ones. And I can kind of feel that the creator, Humble Hearts, wanted to do a lot more with the game, and especially with the ending. I don't want to say what it is, but the ending is one of those open-ended endings, which is satisfying. The ending's satisfying. I'm not saying it's horrible, but it is open-ended to say, we have more planned for this. And I can say this right now, it says, that's my only little problem with this, is that they either missed out on a massive opportunity to make this a really good RPG, in my opinion, or they just didn't have the manpower and workforce to actually get it, or even the funds. And I can see that. I can see it's an indie title, but even for an indie title, I love this more than a lot of games I played last year. I absolutely love this game. It's absolutely fantastic. And I definitely recommend it if you haven't played it already. And I can definitely say that Humble Hearts, I'd highly doubt you're watching this, but I can happily say that I want more Dust. Give me more Dust Elysian Tales. Like, when I beat the game and I want more. That's the sign of a great game in my opinion. I beat the game and I want more of it. That's what I want. I want more Dust and Elysian Tail. I want to explore this universe more. I want to find out more about the Moonbloods. I want to find out more about the characters of Dust. I want to see more about this universe, and there are seeds planted throughout the game for possible sequels to this game, and I can say that, Humble Hearts, please give us more! I'm begging you. I want more. I don't know if there is any more Dust games, but I can definitely say that I hope that this is the start of a decent franchise. I really, not a franchise, a decent, no, I don't want to say franchise, I hate that word. Series of games. I hope to see more, and well done to the developer, and I can definitely feel your passion through this game, and it definitely shines. Well done, and please, clan, if you haven't already, go and pick up Dust An Elysian Tail, or I'm coming at you with this. I'm kidding. But thank you for all watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and final thoughts on Dust, it's definitely worth it, and I highly recommend it. Go pick it up now if you haven't already, and as always, I'll see you all later. Ciao for now.